Get them hot facts with Robert Reese. Come and get them hot facts with Robert Reese. Come and get them hot facts with Robert Reese. Hot facts. Come and get them hot facts. Get them hot facts with Robert Reese. Come and get them hot facts. Come and get them hot facts. Come and get them hot facts with Robert Reese. Hot facts. Robert Reese. Hot facts. Hot facts. Robert Reese. Hot facts. Gig economy. Robert Reese. News channel. Gig economy. News channel. Hot facts with Robert Reese. Hot facts with Robert Reese. Hot facts. 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 Hey. With Robert Reese. Come and get them hot facts. Hot facts. Hot facts. Robert Reese. Hey. Gig economy.
What's up, my people? What's up, my people? Woo! It is hot out here in California. It is hot. Thank you for joining another one. Hot Facts with Robert Reese. I am the official news channel of the gig economy. Thank you all for joining in right now. As you see the title of this live, the gig economy is dysfunctional, and for many reasons. Now, in case you guys don't know, yesterday I put up a video, okay, and the video I used to compare and contrast to show a little bit on how the gig economy is dysfunctional, okay. But before we do start, I want to give a shout out to the DoorDash Revolution. I want to give a shout out to TFT. I want to give that's my deputy. I want to give a shout out to everybody else out there that supports Hot Facts. I want to give a shout out to Dad Dash for putting up some very interesting content over the past couple of weeks. This content has been very interesting, and I will be speaking on some of that right now. I want to give a shout out to UDM for coming back to the gig world and actually doing the new program with the tier system. And I want to give him a shout out because everything that he is saying about the tier system, the DoorDash Revolution, and all of us other people have already broke that down. And you are saying the exact same thing about the tier system that has already been there set for the top dashers in the other programs. They never made a new system like that. All they did was rename something and move something over to get the people who were not understanding it to actually go ahead and do it. And I want to give you a shout out for being one of those people that did not understand it, and now you're doing it. You've been putting up some numbers there, UDM. And by the way, he is actually doing all the lives that we did when we said earn by time. And when we said earn by time, it was your active time versus your online time. Okay. So you want to have your active time or your dash time pretty much almost the same as the time you are online. And that's how we were calculating how much money per hour. And UDM is doing that right now on his videos and his lives. So I want to thank him for actually doing a program and regurgitating everything that we said was going to happen. Now that it's coming out of someone else's mouth who is an influencer here in the gig economy, everyone is hearing it all over again. But remember when you guys said you guys are talking about things that's not true, it's never going to happen like that. Well, guess what, people? It is. That's one point on how the gig economy is dysfunctional. When you get people who do their research and they come on in and they help everybody else out there by being transparent and letting you guys know what's going on and what is going to happen. Now, just because you don't think it's going to happen does not mean it will. Remember all the videos I was putting up before the live would start, and it was talking about adapting to change, and it was in the business models, and I had these other speakers explaining what was going to happen, and I was tying that into what's going to happen into the gig world. How they said they're going to start pairing all the customers with the right businesses, which means the right drivers. They were going to start having merchants go ahead and control tips and divvy out things. Now, Real Talk with Roy made a very great point, and it brings it up again on how the gig world is dysfunctional. He was talking about Jimmy John's, the sandwich shop, and he said when he was working there, the orders would come through on DoorDash, but then Jimmy John's assigned those deliveries to the drivers that work there. That is a sure sign of what we said back then. Now I don't know when Roy worked at Jimmy John's, but it was before he was working at Domino's. And if it was before he was working at Domino's, then you already know that that information that we put out was all the way actual factual. I want to give a big shout out to Real Talk with Roy for saying that on the lounge yesterday. That's another fact in proving that everything that was said on Hot Facts ahead of time is actually true. And this is another reason how the gig economy is dysfunctional. We have too many people that want to get in there and start making up their own beliefs, and then they get other people to believe these beliefs and these things that they think inside their head that's not true. And what I mean by that is DoorDash, Uber Eats, every single app that's out there that you have a contract to do work with, okay, they have a terms of service. They have everything in black and white so that you can actually see what's going on. Now, the people that are making up their own things inside their head, they don't read any of these things. They just say, no, I'm going to do it my way. Well, here's the thing you got to understand. Most people that sign up for these apps to have a contract with these contractors that you have a contract with, here's how it works right here. Most people say, I'm just trying to get paid, right? Duh, I'm just trying to get paid. So what they do is this. I'm just going to sign up. I got my registration, my car is good. I'm just going to go ahead and work and start making some money. That's what they think. All they do is hit accept. You know, when it says, okay, this, review this, all they do is hit accept. They don't read anything. So it's hard for someone who doesn't read anything, especially, they send you a PDF, especially when they update new terms of service and policies. They flash it on your screen and you hit because you can't do anything. You cannot do anything unless you hit accept to the terms of service and the new agreements. And they send you a PDF. Most of the people don't even read these PDFs. What's up, Kevin Hawthorne and Jeff Thomas Black? Kevin Hawthorne, all the way from Lakeland, Florida, people. Now, most people they don't even get the PDF. They don't read the PDF. But that's why I like people like Dad Dash, John McFall, RI. I like people like Your Driver Mike. They actually go into the terms of service and the agreements. DoorDash Revolution, Kim Tech Randomness, that's another one. They go into the actual factuals and they bring you the actual documents that are there just so that you know what is going on. Now, when we do these things, when Portland, Oregon, people, Portland, Oregon in the house, they need a basketball team back like in that area. I know they have one, but Seattle needs one too because we got to have that rivalry again. Now, the people, they don't read, they don't do anything, and what they do is They say, well, I think if I do it like this, it's going to work. Then they say, well, someone said this. You know what? I think that person's right. That person never read the TOS or anything else like that either. They never read anything, and they're passing off this information. Okay. Um, for instance, for instance, let's bring some more dysfunction with the gig economy, and we'll start this with Pedro DoorDash Santiago. He was telling everyone no tip, no trip. The customers don't they don't take care of you, they don't care about you, they're miserable and everything else like that, right? Then all of a sudden he had an awakening. In the awakening, he said, hey everybody, guess what? The customers are actually paying you whether they tip you or not, because it's their money that's going into your pocket. Well, if you say one thing here and which was wrong, and you get all these people here believing it, right? Then you come up all of a sudden and have an awakening. Now there's a conflict there. That makes for dysfunction. Now you got people that actually will make up even crazier theories about what you were supposed to be doing while being your own business as a contractor. Okay. They'll make up their own things and jack it up. Okay. And jack it up bad. That's what's going on now. For instance, I did a video yesterday, and a shout out again to Long Island Audit. A lot of people said, why do you even do that? What was the point? Now, for the people that are thinking up here, there was a very great point and why I chose to bring in Long Island Audit for what he did and compare it to the gig world. And I'm going to break it down to you right now. Long Island Audit, okay? His gig, first of all, he's a First Amendment auditor that goes to make, he wants transparency, and he wants the police departments to be able to respect and uphold the individual people's constitutional rights. Okay? As drivers in your state, in order for things to get passed, for you to get paid more, like the hourly pay and all that stuff, they have to deem some things unconstitutional, and all that goes through the courts. Now, what he did and how this has helped us, if you are a driver and you are not actively on a delivery, you are not actively on the clock. So let's say you're parked in a place, right? And a policeman just rolls up on you. What are you doing here? Why are you sitting here? You can't be here, but you're in a public accessible area. You are allowed to be there. You're not working. You're not doing commercial work. You are not working. You are now a public citizen. Now, what happens is, for drivers that get picked on, they may be in the wrong, but then once the officer figures out what's going on, they'll be put in the right. This is going to help officers stay off of drivers' backs when they are in these areas. Now, the department he was in the other day was in New Jersey. He's all over New York, Maine, Boston. He travels the whole United States. So in a sense, as he is correcting these police officers in these departments by working with the chiefs and everything, all that filters down into us being drivers who have to be out there on the road. We have people that are not breaking traffic laws, and they're getting pulled over, and the police are doing illegal searches and everything. It happens all the time to drivers. What he did was help some drivers out. Now, they say, why'd you even do that? Because he's working on transparency. Now, that's the biggest thing in the gig economy, and the biggest thing that makes it so dysfunctional is transparency. Now, I have to go outwards to bring a different community working on the same goal to make it happen. They say, well, why couldn't you use your own community? I'll tell you why. Because when Steve Wright, Share Audio, and that whole crew decided to go ahead and do the whole PARA thing, they started off wrong. They started off by, infringing on the public's constitutional right to their own privacy. Okay. Now, once that happens right there, okay, and DoorDash picks up on it, or let's put whatever app picks up on it, they shut that down. They already see who the makers of the app are. They see who's sponsoring it. They see who the partners are and everything. If these people are so willing to go ahead and go against private citizens' constitutional rights, all for $1, what would make what would make any app? This is a question for everybody. What would make any app out there want to give you more transparency about anything if you tried to steal it? I showed you guys Long Island Audit because he didn't do it that way. He went the right way by going up, protesting, showing people what your rights are, showing the police, and now they are using all of his videos all over. Every place he goes, every state he goes into, now these departments are using his videos. He's in there for training. He did it the right way. He didn't go in there and try to sock the police officers. No, he is all about de-escalation. Okay, de-escalation. He wants everything to be functional. We are dysfunctional, and we are trying to cheat to get things. That's why I brought up the driver utility helper. Now, Gary Middleton, in his own words, said that he is floating below the radar because what his app does is he taps into the what DoorDash or Uber Eats, whatever it is. He taps into their system. When the order is coming out, he snatches it and gives it to someone who's downloaded his app. Now, they haven't figured that out yet, but pretty soon they will when you have people like Mr. Flex promoting it and all that other stuff. They try not to tell people what it is, but that's what it is, people. If you watched my short earlier, that's what it was about also. There are apps like this. You cannot have any transparency if we have apps that are out there and these people are speaking on live shows, they're putting out videos, and they're doing these things to say we need more transparency. How can you trust someone who started off by stealing off the top? That's why it's so dysfunctional. And we have these people in the gig world trying to promote something that may be very positive and useful for everyone. It may be very positive and useful for everyone, but they did it the wrong way. Now they're gonna have another GitCon. The first GitCon, the PAR guy was up there speaking on the mic, and they were saying how many people that they have that sign signatures and all that. It's not about signing signatures for that app. That app has to be proven that it is not breaking and going against any private citizen's constitutional right to remain private. Since that's not happening, it is deemed illegal in the eyes of whatever apps that are out there. It is deemed illegal. But the dysfunction is we have some people out there that promote it, and then they know what it is and they know it's not right. That's why that driver utility helper app is not right. It hacks in and steals orders to give it to people that have the app. That's an unfair advantage to anyone. That's an unfair advantage. Now you have people saying, yeah, go use it. Then we have people that say, I'm not using that. Then we get people that have used it and say, well, you know what? Something weird is happening to my account. I'm not getting the orders I used to get and everything else like that. And then they say, oh, don't worry, don't worry. Just only accept the orders from this app. That's dysfunctional, man. You cannot try to build a house up and put dividers inside the house and say we are all one house, but since you do it this way, you're in this room. You do it this way, you're in that room. Yeah, you're in that room. You're in that room. Now it's a big community kitchen that we can all eat off of, right? But check this out. Everybody don't want to eat at the same table with everybody, and that brings even more dysfunction. It brings up dysfunction like this news channel here. You put up the news, you put out the things to teach the drivers how to run their business, how to go ahead and do their things right. And people say that's wrong. Don't listen to that. He's trying to make you fail. There is no way to fail if you are running your business by the guidelines of the business that you are contracted with. There is no way. All you're going to do is make your business better. Now, I'll get into a little bit of that right now. Dad Dash, his main focus is his video. He said, whatever the customer pays, he says, all of this is our money, and the apps is stealing this from us. That's all of our money. I'm going to break it down to you like this. Now, me being a personal trainer, and a food nutritionist and everything else like that, right? I use a site called Thumbtack. Okay. Thumbtack is a professional website where people are looking for certain services. They go there. Okay. Now, Thumbtack, they generate all of the leads for you. They generate all the leads because the people are on there looking for the service. I have to pay, like if I want like 20 credits, I have to pay like $16 for 20 credits, right? When I see someone that's looking for, let's say they're looking for a diet plan or something else like that, I get a chance to go look at that, see who they are, right? In order for me to contact that person, in order for me to contact that person, I have to use two of the points that I paid for to contact that person. Once I use my 2 points on that individual person, I am able to contact that person and try to bring them in for a consultation, a one-on-one, and try to get them to come in to my services for my business. Once I do that, I have them open for life in case I want to go back and try to bring them in once our program is over. Okay, they are generating the customers. Um, the customers are typing in what they're looking for. I don't do anything but just go on there, look and see what's going on, send my points in so I can do. I have to pay for my points. Okay. When you're doing this contracting work, as far as being a driver, now what they show you, okay, they're showing you what you're getting paid. They show you what a customer paid. They show you a tip at the end. But here's the thing: for using their navigation system, for them finding the clients, for them navigation clients, for the dispatch. You do know that customer support is dispatch, and whenever there's an issue, you have to call customer support. Customer support has to get paid also. There's money that go. You are paying for your customer support and dispatch. You are paying for the use of the app. You are paying for the privacy security that they have placed on the app. You are paying for the navigation. The only thing you are doing is using your own vehicle. That is it right there. Now, you have to pay a service fee in order for you to go ahead and make your money back. That's what you do. Okay. The customers have to pay a service fee in order for them to get the service. You have to pay a service fee because they did all the work for you. And now all you got to do is just go pick it up and drop it off. There is a fee for all of that. Customer support has to get paid. The ITs who have to keep and the coders who have to keep going to get through to stop para, they have to get paid. That's a lot of hard work to be trying to break codes all the time. Okay, that's a lot of hard work. The dysfunction is also in the gig world that some people don't understand how they are getting paid. And right now, Dad Dash is bringing up some very interesting points, but there's going to be some drivers, and this is going to bring a little bit more dysfunctionality into the gig world because they're not even going to understand what he's talking about because they have not even read the terms of service that he put up there. Luckily, he's breaking it down. So some of you guys pick up and catch up, please. Pick up and catch up. But it's going to bring some dysfunction there. Some people aren't going to know what to do. Some won't know who to believe, who's telling the truth, who's trying to lead us with crumbs into one cave while they go into the other cave. Well, don't even think about that. There's a lot of caves out there. There's a lot of caves out there, but there's only one of you, and you are your business. In order to not be involved in all the dysfunction out there, you got to just do it like this. There's a guy out there by the name of Roy Wilby Lane. He asked me, he said, Hot Facts, since you are the official news channel of the gig economy, he said they're unrolling a program in his area and with DoorDash, and if he should try it, it's to earn by hour or earn by time. I told him this: you have to give it a realistic opportunity, a realistic chance, okay? A realistic opportunity and a realistic chance for you to gather your numbers, bring them in, and then compare and contrast and then see if it works for you. Now, I could have been someone to make it dysfunctional for him. No, don't do it. It's not going to work for you. It sucks. I don't live where he lives. So how am I going to tell him that it sucks? That's why you have to go ahead and make sure you are giving it a realistic a realistic chance and opportunity for yourself to understand. That will go ahead and take away some of that dysfunctionality that we have. We got too many people standing up saying, I know more than the gig app. I know more than the gig app. I have broken it down. I've done my own studies. I have broken their business plans down for the future. And listen to me. This is what you're gonna do. Listen to me. You will make the most money if you listen to me. Well, let me tell you this. They're saying that if you have 50%, you can start getting some higher paying orders. Well, 50% is a fail. Now, if you're thinking about like basketball, shooting 50% from the field is good. If you're shooting 50% from the free throw line, that's terrible. Okay. If you're a baseball player, if you bat 500, that is great. If you bat 500. But let's say you get up to the plate and you strike out half the time. That's not great. You see what I mean? It's not great. You got to really understand what is good for you and what's not. And this makes a whole lot of turmoil. It makes people second guess themselves. And a lot of the times it makes drivers not even want to drive, and they just pretty much quit the app completely. And that's not cool right there, because those people never even gave it a chance. And it is kind of cool though, and it's not cool. It's cool because they gave up, but it's not cool because they gave up on themselves, and they never tried to go and do anything else for themselves. They're taking information from someone that might be in Montana and they live in Boston. Two completely separate areas. I'm not going to take the information from someone in Montana and put that into my super metro area. That's not going to work. That will never work right there. People don't do that. And if people tell you, yes, follow me and do it like this, that's dysfunctional. You will be running around like a chicken with its head cut off, and you will be so inscrutable, just looking all dazed and all crazy and stuff like that. That's not cool right there. That's not cool right there. Now let's get back to this transparency thing with this para and how they're trying to what they say is we want to force the gig app's hand. I've heard Pedro say that. We want to force the gig app's hand. I would like to know, what are you trying to force? What are you trying to force? You know what? Let me put up this. I'm only going to be on here for just a little bit longer. I'm on here for 27 minutes. No, Necro, I'm not going to GitCon. He says, Dad says, Robert, I use the app and it doesn't help you get orders. Now, I'm speaking specifically on the driver utility helper app. It takes them and gives them to you once you put your numbers in. Okay. Para breaks the confidentiality rules of the private citizens in our country who are trying to make orders by giving you information that you are not supposed to have until the end. That's plain and simple right there. Plain and simple right there. Now, Necro, if I would go to GigCon, they would not want me to speak. I'll tell you that. They would not want me to speak at all, because all the positivity and all of the positive things about business and working yourself right and running yourself right, they're not going to like that, which is a big disconnect with the people who are putting it on and the gig apps themselves. They talk trash about the apps so bad that they have so many videos up there that these apps, the people that work there and who are who are in charge of it, they already know who you are. Check this out. They have people that are only there now just doing cyber watch, and they're watching. So if they're watching people badmouth the app so bad, and they're watching them say, do this, do that, use this app, there is not going to be any type of transparency coming anytime soon. And for those people to try to say, we're going to force the hand of the app, you are going up an uphill battle and you're never going to win. You need to have drivers out there and people out there who are doing it in a much different way. They have to approach the game in a much different way. In order to create change, you have to assess and approach the difficult situation from a different angle. You can't go straight in there shooting bullets. It's never going to work. Um, they don't have a real sponsor back behind them to where they can actually bring them in and get it done. Now, if they get in there and they say, well, what is this? You guys are talking about using this app, use it, and this is the apps asking you guys. Are you guys gonna turn foot and just start acting nice and take all those words back and do everything? It's gonna be very hard for them to even want to sit down and work with you. That brings more dysfunction to the gig economy because everyone is watching and saying, well, the gig apps don't care about us. They're trying this and they still don't care. Why care about them? That creates a big gap, and that is dysfunctional. We don't need that. These people started it off wrong, and they have been doing a fight for so long that it's not working. It's not working at all. It works in states like California. It works in places like New York, up there in Seattle. It works in places like that because we actually went and fought and did everything for it. Right now, it's just like this. It's just like if there's a picket line and they're in front of the building and they're saying, don't cross the line. Don't do it. But you are a driver that understands your own business. You're going to cross the line. Once you cross the line and go get your contract, they're going to stab you in your back on the way out because they didn't want you to cross that line anyway. And these are the picketers on the outside. The para people and everyone that support the dysfunction, these are the picketers on the outside. You got to stand up for yourself, be your own person, go across that line and make your own bread. I've been on for 30 minutes. I didn't want to be on for a full hour. I want to go ahead and get some stuff in. I did not drop a link on this one for people to join, but you got your comments there. This one is over right now. Thank you for watching. I got to go eat. Peace out. Let me get up on out of here. End it. Thank you all for joining. Let me go ahead and end this.